Hola, gente linda. Hello, beautiful people. Hola is hello in Spanish, and gente linda means beautiful people in Spanish. I'm Nelly Z. My goal for my YouTube channel is to study the topics for the licensed clinical social worker exam together and share this material with someone who may need it. First, I would like to share a quote to continue to be inspired and motivated to carry on with this journey. We will start studying the Kohlberg theory of moral development, and this is my first video reviewing the Kohlberg theory. Here is the link to the article that we have been reading. I will post the link to this article under the video for your review at your convenience. Finally, thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. If you would like to receive a notification when I upload a video, please subscribe and don't forget to like this video so we can all maximize the gift of the technology at this time. I also get motivated and inspired to get with this crazy idea of studying together for the LCS exam. Adios, mi gente linda, and many blessings. Here is the quote that I would like to share with you. You are not failing, you are succeeding slowly. I have faith that you will achieve all your goals when the time is right. Again, you are not failing, you are succeeding slowly. I have faith that you will achieve all your goals when the time is right. Nice quote. So we are not failing, we're succeeding slowly, and we will pass the exam, the LCSW exam, when the time is right. So let's continue studying together. And here is the Kohlberg's theory of moral development. Kohlberg's theory of moral development, the sixth stage. The first rule are fixed and absolute. Number two, judging actions according to the individual needs. Number three, conforming and being nice. Fourth, respecting authority. And fifth, considering individuals' rights. Kohlberg's theory of moral development is a theory that focuses on how children develop morality and moral reasoning. Kohlberg's theory suggests that moral development occurs in a series of 6 stages, and the moral logic is primarily focused on seeking and maintaining justice. Here we discuss how Kohlberg developed his theory of moral development and the 6 stages he identified as a part of this process. We also share some critiques of Kohlberg theories, many of which suggest that it may be biased based on the limited demographic of the subjects studied. What is moral development? Moral development is the process by which people develop the distinction between right and wrong morality and engage in reasoning between the two moral reasoning. How do people develop morality? This question has fascinated parents, religious leaders, and philosophers for ages, but moral development has also become a hot button issue in psychology and education. Do parental or societal influences play a greater role in moral development? Do all kids develop morality in similar ways? American psychologist Laurel Kohlberg developed one of the best known theories exploring some of these basic questions. His work modified and expanded upon James Piaget's previous work, but was more centered on explaining how children develop moral reasoning. Kohlberg extends in Piaget's theory, proposing that moral development is a continual process that occurs through the lifespan. Kohlberg's theory outlines 6 stages of moral development with 3 different levels. In recent years, Kohlberg theory has been criticized as being Western-centric, which is a bias toward men. He primarily used male research subjects and for having narrow worldwide based on upper middle class value system and perspective. How Kohlberg developed his theory? Kohlberg based his theory on a series of moral dilemmas presented to his study subjects. Participants were also interviewed to determine the reasoning behind their judgment in each scenario. One example was Haynes steals the drug. In this scenario, a woman has a cancer and her doctors believe only one drug might save her. This drug has been discovered by a local pharmacist and he was able to make it for $200 per dozen and sell it for $2,000 per dozen. The woman's hands could only raise $1,000 to buy the drug. He tried to negotiate with the pharmacy for a lower price or to be extended credit to pay for overtime, but the pharmacist refused to sell it for any less or to accept partial payment. Rebuffed Haynes instead broke into pharmacy and stole the drug to save his wife. Kohlberg asked, should the husband have done that? Kohlberg was not interested so much in the answer, whether he was wrong or right, but in the reasoning for each participant decisions. He then classified the reasoning into the stage of his theory of moral development. A stage of moral development. Kohlberg theory is broken down into three primary levels. At each level of moral development, there are two stages, similar to how pigeons believe that not all people reach the highest level of connected development. Kohlberg believed not everyone progresses to the highest stages of moral development. Level of moral development, age stages including this level. Pre-conventional morality, from 0 to 9. Stage 1, obedience and punishment. Stage 2, individualism and exchange. Conventional morality, early adolescent to adulthood. Stage 3, developing good interpersonal relationships. Stage 4, maintaining social order. And post-conventional morality, some adults, rare. Stage 5, social contract and individual rights. Stage 6, universal principle. Level 1, pre-conventional morality. Pre-conventional morality is the earliest period of moral development. It lasts until around the age of 9. At this age, children's decisions are primarily shaped by the expectation of adults and the consequences of breaking the rule. There are two stages within this level. A stage of obedience and punishment. The early stages of moral development, obedience and punishment, are especially common in young children, but adults are also capable of expressing this type of reasoning. According to Kohlberg, people at this stage see rules as a fixed and absolute. Obeying the rule is important because it is a way to avoid punishment. Stage 2, individualism and exchange. At the individualism and exchange stage of moral development, children account for individual points of view and judge actions based on how they serve individual needs. In the Hayes dilemma, children argued that the best course of action was the choice that best served Hayes' needs. Reciprocity is possible at this point in moral development, but only if it serves one's interests. Level 2, conventional morality. The next period of moral development is marked by the acceptance of social rules regarding what is good and moral. During this time, adolescents and adults internalize the moral standards they have learned from the role models and from society. This period also focuses on the acceptance of authority and conforming to the norms of the group. There are two stages at this level of morality. Stage 3, developing good interpersonal relationship, often referred to the good boy and good girl orientation. This stage of the interpersonal relationship or moral development is focused on living up to social expectations and role. There is an emphasis on conformity, being nice, consideration of how choices influence relationships. Stage 4, maintaining social order. This stage is focused on ensuring the social order is maintained. At this stage of moral development, people begin to consider society as a whole when making judgments. The focus on maintaining law and order by following the rules, doing one's duty, and respecting authority. This is the conventional morality, and now we're going to read the level 3, post-conventional morality. At this level of moral development, people develop an understanding of abstract principle of morality. The two stages at this level are stage 5, social contract and individual rights. The ideas of social contract and individual rights cause people in the next stage to begin to account for the different values, opinions, and beliefs of other people. Rules or law are important for maintaining a society, but members of the society should agree upon this standard. Stage 6, universal principle. Kohlberg's final level of moral reasoning is based on universal ethical principle and abstract reasoning. At this stage, people follow this internalized principle of justice, even if they conflict with laws and rules. Kohlberg believed that only a relatively small percentage of people even reach the post-conventional stages, around 10 to 15%. One analysis found that while stages 1 for 4 could be seen as a universal in population through the world, the 5th and 6th stages were extremely rare in all populations. So which one is that? The post-conventional morality is extremely rare in all population. Okay. Applications for Kohl's theory. Understanding Kohlberg's theory of moral development is important that it can help parents guide their children as they develop their moral characters. Parents with younger children might work on rules, obedience, for instance, or whereas they might teach older children about social expectation. Teacher and other education can also apply Kohlberg's theory in the classroom, providing additional moral guidance. At kindergarten, teacher could help enhance moral development by setting clear rules for the classroom and the consequences for violating them. This helps kids at the stage of moral development. A teacher in high school may focus more on development that occurs in the stage 3, developing good interpersonal relationships, and stage 4, maintaining social order. This could be accomplished by having the students take part in setting the rules to be followed in the classroom, giving them a better idea of the reasoning behind this rule. Criticisms for Kohlberg's theory of moral development. Kohlberg's theory played an important role in the development of moral psychology. While the theory has been highly influenced, aspects of the theory have been critiqued for a number of reasons. The first one, moral reason does not equal moral behavior. Kohlberg's theory is concerned with moral thinking, but there is a big difference between knowing what we ought to do versus our actual actions. Moral reasoning, therefore, may not lead to moral behavior. Overemphasizes justice. Critics have pointed out that Kohlberg's theory of moral development overemphasizes the concept of justice when making moral choices. Factors such as compassion, caring, and other interpersonal feelings may play an important part in moral reasoning. Cultural bias. Individualist cultures emphasize personal rights, while collective cultures stress the importance of society and community. Eastern collective cultures may have different moral outlooks that Kohlberg's theory does not take into account. Age bias. Most of his subjects were children under the age of 16 who obviously had no experience with marriage. The Haynes dilemma may have been too abstract for these children to understand, and the scenario more applicable that everybody concerns may have led to different results. Gender bias. Kohl critics include Carol Gillian have suggested that Kohlberg theory was gender biased in all the subjects in his sample were male. Kohlberg believed that women tend to remain at the third level of moral development because they place a strong emphasis on things such as social relationships and welfare of others. Gillian instead suggests that Kohlberg theories overemphasize concepts such as justice and does not adequately address moral reasoning found in the principle and ethics of caring and concern of others. Other theory of moral development. Kohlberg isn't the only psychologist to theorize how we develop morally. There are several other theories of moral development. Piaget's theory of moral development. Kohlberg's theory is an expansion of Piaget's theory of moral development. Piaget described a three-stages process of moral development. Stage 1, the child is more concerned with developing and mastering their motor social skills with no general concepts about morality. Stage 2, the child develops unconditional respect both for authority figures and the rules in existence. Stage 3, child starts to see rules as being arbitrary, also considering an actor's intention when judging whether an act or behavior is moral or immoral. Kohlberg expanded on his theory to include more stages in the process. Additionally, Kohlberg believed that the final stage is rarely achieved by individuals, where Piaget's stage of moral developments are common to all. Moral foundations theory, proposed by Jonathan Haidt, Craig Joseph, and Jesus Graham, the moral foundation theory is based on three morality principles. Institution develops before strategic reasoning. Put another way, in our reactions come first, which is then followed by rationalization. Morality involves more than a harm and fairness. Contained with the second principle are a variety of considerations related to morality and includes care versus harm, liberty versus oppression, fairness versus cheating, loyalty versus betrayal, authority versus subversion, and sanctity versus degradation. Morality can both bind groups and blind individuals. When people are part of a group, they will tend to adopt the group's same value system. They may also sacrifice their own moral. While Kohlberg's theory is primarily focused on help versus harm, moral foundation theory encompasses several more dimensions of morality. However, this theory also fails to explain the rules people use when determining what is the best for society. Normative theories of moral behavior. Several other theories exist that tend to explain the development of morality, specifically in relation to social justice. Some fall into the category of transcendental institutionalism, which involves trying to create perfect justice. Other realization focus on concentrating more on removing injustice. Another theory falling into the second category is social choice theory. Social choice theory is a collection of models that seek to explain how individuals can use their input, their preference, to impact society as a whole. An example of this is voting, which allows the majority to decide what is right and wrong. So we're gonna stop here because that's the whole Kohlberg, and we will continue with the other psychologist, that is Margaret, about how children develop. Thank you, my beautiful people. I hope that we'll continue strong in this journey, and have a great day. Many blessings.